Hello there, Vivian. Do I
Hi.
do I have your permission to record this Skype interview?
Yes.
Thank you. Also, do I have your consent to upload this interview onto a website? The website will have a password and be viewable by my graduate studies associates and other interviewees.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm doing my final project in my grad studies program at Northern Arizona University. Um, it's a Master's of Arts with a major in rhetorical writing and digital media. My project, I chose an interdisciplinary focus, the study of the documentary Cowspiracy, its effectiveness as a model for behavior change toward environmental sustainability, and as a media literacy tool. So, are you ready to begin with the questions?
Yes, I am.
Number one, please tell me about yourself.
My name is Vivian, and I live in New York, and I've been a vegan for over 3 years, and I'm very passionate about the cause and the importance in raising awareness of the ethical, environmental, and health implications of, rather the benefits
Mhm.
of being vegan.
Yes, and you
Yep.
influenced me also. um,
Yay.
Yay! And when did you watch Cowspiracy the first time?
I watched Cowspiracy, I believe, sometime. I think it's been less than a year, actually.
Okay.
Maybe in the fall or summer, late
Hmm.
summer.
That's
Mhm.
about when I watched it. What did you think of the documentary Cowspiracy?
I loved it. As someone who watches a lot of documentaries, and there are a handful of documentaries that promote plant-based eating. You have Forks Over Knives. You have um, what was it, Hungry for Change, or there's several others I can't think of on top of my head. But I watched my share, and I believe that Cowspiracy was the first of its kind to deliver the environmental impact of our meat eating society, and so it really presented the facts in a very convincing way. So I believe it was a very effective and very powerful documentary.
Hmm. Good. And so you mentioned that you were vegan before you started watching the documentary. Did Cowspiracy influence your attitudes or habits, behaviors in any way?
Yes, it did. Even though I was already eating a plant-based diet, I there's this one scene in the documentary where he recycles a plastic, like the plastic cover of the envelopes. I thought, for me, that really struck to me, because I consider myself pretty I like to recycle things, make sure that things are going in the proper places. And I mean, even that, though that wasn't the main focus of the documentary, that was just one example of how it influenced my behavior. And so I become much more aware, much more cognizant of how to discard um, my the waste. Other ways that it has influenced me, it's really made me more aware of the water usage, even though the amount of water that humans use for their own purposes, for taking showers, for washing the dishes, whatever it is, it's far less than the water used in the animal agriculture in that industry. So all around, it's just aware of how much I use the resources that we have and how limiting they are.
Hmm. He really brings invisible things to the visible.
Hmm.
Yeah, lots of numbers and infographics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how he puts things in perspective. Um, one hamburger is equal to 2 months of showering.
Mm-hmm.
That I remember I watched the documentary sitting with a whole bunch of people. I didn't really know what to expect when I was going to watch it. And I remember some of those facts coming out and just people looking astonished and looking around at each other. You know, it was kind of like a spell was cast over
Mm-hmm.
us that we're all kind of going through this at the same time.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
in the end, I felt really optimistic. Like, it is possible for us to achieve the goals that we need to reduce the CO2 and like the other environmental impacts in time to make a big difference. Um, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
know. Did you feel more optimistic, or did you just feel like you already knew a lot of those things before you watched it?
I think I was aware um, of some things, but definitely not in depth. You know, the numbers,
Mm-hmm.
they were really quite shocking. Um, but I think what it really came down to is that everything we do, it's not a matter of will we make a difference. It's we do make a difference,
Mm-hmm.
or it's not. Also, it's not a question of can we make a difference. It's everything that we do has a full effect, and whether you choose to buy one product over another, you're voting with your dollars. And
Mm-hmm.
so, if you're purchasing, animal products that came from very intensive resources, then you're saying yes, I accept what comes with it, and you're approving it. So I think once we become more aware of where our food comes from and what it had to go through, I think it'll make us think twice about whether we want those products or not. And, it doesn't have to be an overnight change, but let it happen gradually and really think um, about your choices.
Yeah. How
Mm-hmm.
can Cowspiracy best be used as an educational tool, either inside or outside the classroom? Do you have some ideas on that?
I think in the classrooms, it's definitely a documentary that could be beneficial for the students. I think, if it's not possible to show the entire video, then, certain clips and have a
Mm-hmm.
discussion around it. Um, and I think it's fitting in, and it can be fitting in science classes and social studies, even math
Yeah,
infograph. So I
definitely.
think there are many, subjects in classes that you can use the videos or the video in. I think outside the classroom, where you have those viewing parties, um, I think that's a great idea to really, make it an enjoyable experience too. It doesn't have to be very, serious. I mean, the topic is serious, but you
Yeah,
can, build a fun atmosphere
for
around it. So
sure.
maybe hosting a viewing party, and maybe offering some great vegan food samples, to
Yeah.
really show and demonstrate what a fulfilling life this is and how delicious the foods can be. And you're not restricting yourself, you're not lacking in anything. I think that's one great idea that personally I would like to do. Maybe in the summertime, I would like to do that.
Let's do
Um,
it. You do yours
yeah,
your in your
yeah, we
place
can
and
even
I'll
do
do
like a
mine.
virtual thing too.
Yeah. That would be
Yeah,
kind of fun to organize like a simultaneous Cowspiracy showing and then maybe have you know, some kind of media presence where people can put comments and stuff up because they're all watching it at the same time. It's not a bad
right.
idea. I had hoped to do it during this project. I have a lot of things going on to do for this project, but I think in the summer I'm gonna do a showing. Having food there would be a great
Hmm.
idea.
Yeah, I definitely want to do. Oh yeah, food. Yeah, I think that'd be great. And you can even think of like little, little gift bag ideas, if you want to
Mm.
make it, if you want to go all out.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I
Like
think
what?
that
What are you
could
gonna
be
put in your gift
fun.
bag?
I don't know. I was thinking like, I don't know, for like, I mean, one item I can think of right now is like, I mean, for both men and women, but most, I think the women. But there's this great lip balm, and it's fully raw and fully vegan, and I don't know. That's just like one little sample item that I can think of. But
Mm.
also for me, I like to represent. I like to support a lot of the companies that I believe are aligned with my values. So you know, like that company, the lip balm company, Hurrah. That's one company I like to support. And when I'm buying things, in the past, I would go to a store and pick up whatever is on sale. But for me, it's become more important to research the things that are out there, because there are a lot of startups and there are a lot of brands that are building, that have these values, the environmental, the ethical values, and
Mm.
I would like for them to be around. So I would like to support them with my dollars, and in the amount that I can. So yeah, that's just one side. That's also come with me along the journey. That wasn't something that was always with me. As I started this journey, a lot of other things came into play, and what, how else can I support? How else can I say, I want, I want positive change. I want sustainability. So that's where I am now.
That's a really good point. Usually, when people go vegan, they start with food and then they move on to refining their selection choices in many other aspects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, how did
Definitely.
that work out for you?
Um, how
How
did
how do
buying
you?
or
Yeah. Like, how did
my
you
consumer
pick?
choices?
Yeah.
Okay. It can. The only part that is difficult is that it's not in your immediate periphery. When you go to a mall, you're not going to find, oh, this product was made with the highest ethical, highest,
Hmm.
standards, So for me, I have to really go and research and go online and, type in the keywords. And surprisingly, a lot of good results come up.
Hmm.
Um, it's not hard. It's just a matter of shifting what was once convenient for you, and making the latter more reasonable, and the more go to. So it hasn't been really difficult for me. In fact, I enjoy the process of finding these
Mm,
companies,
me
and once I
too.
find them, I'll put them on my book list and I'll keep them forever. So yeah, I mean, the clothes I try to. I mean, the clothes that I have, they're either from a thrift store or I take them from my brother, my dad. Like, I like the bulky clothes, so I'll take whatever is here, but it's rare for me to really pop, um, the latest things. But yeah, I mean, if I find a company, that I believe in, then I would want to support them. So yeah, I'll go shopping then. But otherwise, for me, yeah, I keep it low key.
Yeah. For me, I think the first steps were changing my shampoo, conditioner, skincare products
Mhm.
to being, well, also organic, and then it just feels really great. And I found out if you, for me, like even though I'm a student, a working student,
Mhm.
prioritizing these things, it is affordable.
Mhm.
I feel like I spend less money on other random stuff since I prioritized, food and trying to eat mostly organic as much as possible. And then it started with that, and then I went to makeup. I don't really wear a lot, but I
Mhm.
buy a few personal care products and buying organic vegan, and it was really exciting to participate that way. And then clothing, buying secondhand clothing or like carefully checking labels. Clothing industry is
Mhm.
another whole uh, issue, really,
Oh
and it
yeah,
is
definitely.
both environmental and compassion, as we both know. Yeah. And I think the more that we support and talk about these issues, the more people will think about it and hopefully be influenced in making choices when they are,
Mm-hmm.
voting with their dollar, as you say.
Most definitely. 100%
Because a
agree.
lot of people
Mm-hmm.
love shopping. It is true. And we do need certain
You
things in
know,
our
we
life.
become a consumer culture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm. We have an immense consumer, culture, and of course, it's in Korea too, but here as well, and all the other parts of the developed countries. But yeah, shopping, it seems like the more you have, the richer you appear, or the more access you seem to have. And I don't think people really give enough thought into how that product came about, and also when you get tired of it, where is it going to go?
Yeah.
Is it going to go in a garbage can, and then from the garbage can, where's it go? People might think, oh, it's not my business, but you bought that product and you don't need it anymore, and so where does that go? I mean, it can be donated, but I think we have far more things in the landfill than in the donation bins. So.
Yeah. One of the authors who is a speaker in the movie, Will Tuttle, he talks
Mm-hmm.
in his book about how our attitude as consumers really influences the underpinnings of society and how people treat each other. Like if we think of things as disposable, and if we think of non-human creatures as things, then we tend to also treat other people
Mm-hmm.
with less compassion as well. Yeah, I think there's really no end to the research that can go into a project like this, and how far-reaching our influences are when we really think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, Mademoiselle Vivian, it's been a while since we've had a talk. And I
Yes,
really, really,
yes.
really am so happy that you were able to share your ideas with me today in the interview.
It's been a major privilege and honor to do this with you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up for now. And yeah, I will be in touch with you, and we'll talk about the interview a little bit later as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.